roles, and within role we need to get the permissions, correct? So the role permissions, and this will return also belongs to mini relationship for the permission. One more thing, let's go to the permission and make sure yeah, it's a role, not roles. Okay, one more thing, when I want to do something like this, when I assign a permission to a role, for example, let's say I have an admin role, I want to have something like assign and pass the permission, right? So you can do something like role permissions and save, but this is not readable, so that's why maybe a helper here is a perfect solution. So let's call assign, we will accept permission, right? Permission, and we will return this permissions. Then you can use save or sync if you want to delete everything and synchronize the table, the data, your data. You can use sync. In my case, I will go with save. Okay, so we have the role, assign a role. I think that's all what we need in the role side so far. Now let's step to the user. We want to get the user role, right? So this is will be belongs to mini relationship. Also belongs to mini role. Yeah. And I also want to check if a user has a role. I really want to allow users to pass a string actually. For example, you can pass something like manager string. So to do that, we need to check if the given is a string or an object. So if is string role, I will return the current roles of users and check if they have the given role. If the given is not the role name, so it's gonna be a collection, we can do something like for each role, which will be a collection in this case, and as a role, and then I can call the has role recursively. This has role. Oh, I will check if this has role and role name, then return true. Otherwise, I return false. This is also a solution, but what I prefer is using a helper function within the collection itself. So I can do role, it's called intersect, intersect sec, and it's accept of collections. In our case will be the user and the current user roles. So this function is remove all the items from this role, this collection. It's remove all the item from this collection that's not exist in the given in the past collection, which means if it's return an empty collection, that means that the user it's not hold the role. So that's why we can add the count, and then we can do this to return true or false. That's a solution. And also I want to assign user role. For example, I can do user something like user assign assign a role. And also I want to allow to accept the string. So let's go with assign, and will be actually it will be an object. It's gonna be an object or a string, so we want to allow for both. So in this case we can do if is string role. I can do this roles and save. Save role where name equal the role, and grab the first one or fail. So that's if it's given me. Let's return it. That's if given me a string. If it's given an object of role, I can do this roles, then save again or sync if you want to delete and synchronize everything, and will be the role, the given role. And let's return this actually. Another thing I forgot to do with the role actually. Oh, it's already done. I think now everything in place regarding the relationships. So now it's the time for the Laravel ACL component. So you will see that you have a new service provider called auth service provider, and under the boot function they inject the contra of this component. So let's do this by getting all the permissions for the current user, by getting all the permissions, and check if the current permission has the given role. So we may have this get permissions, the helper function. I will create that in the next few minutes, and will be as permission. Now we will use the get component. This is the ACL component of Laravel, and it has a function called define, and it's accept the 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 role, the permission that we want to check for, which is the permission name. We want to check for this permission, and the second argument is a callback function, and the callback function get the user, the current logged user, as a parameter. And now we want to check if the logged user has a role, or if we go to user, see, when we check for roles, we will accept a string or a collection. See that? So in our case, as a role, we will pass the permission roles, and actually we need to return it. And also, since we are inside the closure, we need to use the permission. So now let's create this protected method get permission, and this is we return the permission with its eager load roles and get the collection of permissions. So I think that's it. I think now we have everything in place.